Hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty, and this is a Q&A video. Questions and answers, AMA, Ask Me Anything, whatever you want to call it. If you're not part of a Discord, I highly suggest you join because everything gets posted there. Some things get redirected to Twitter, but pretty much it all gets dumped on Discord. It's free. There's no reason not to use it if you want to be connected to any sort of information. So, without further ado, here are your questions. I'll answer them all to the best of my ability. And if there's context or content to be added, I will attach it. I don't know who asked what. I could guess some of them, but yeah. First question, and this is just order of upvoting as far as they were submitted, is what inspired you about Peter Sandberg's From a Scandinavian Thing album to use it as background music for your older content? What do you listen to when you select new tracks to play in the background of your new content currently? So, what the fuck is Peter Sandberg From a Scandinavian Thing, first off? A Scandinavian Thing, Peter Sandberg. Which one do I use? This one? Got that feeling? No, not that one. What the fuck? Which one is it? You know what? It's almost irrelevant. Anyway, the process in which I find music is pretty simple. I have a subscription from a old partnership I did to a website called Epidemic Sound. And through Epidemic Sound, I could find SEO-free music or royalty-free music and sounds and sound effects and a variety of other things. The baseline for how I go is basically aligned with what is my BPM and my average decibels for my voice and for the content I do. So say we're trying to find some music. We could do it together here. I identify the basic genre or the mood or the theme I want to do, and then kind of take it from there. I tend to go laid back. The majority of things I do are in that genre. And the dulcet tones of my voice lay over like waves on a lapping shore. And then we tend to use lower BPMs because of it. So we tend to have the BPMs somewhere between 0 and 94. Of tags, we also tend to add a variety of tags. Most times things like lo-fi or lounge. We could do lounge, for example. Maybe jazzy to, whatever. And then from here, we just kind of go down the list and listen to things. And I also have to be careful because it's not always the beginning of the song I use. So here's this track, right? I can see, though, that around this mark, something drastic is changing based off of the volume. So we can see here. And then that's when the drums kick in. So I might only want the first part, or I might only want the second part. Or even here, right here is a break point you can identify right there. That something is dipping, probably like a reset in the chorus. And the drums come back in. So I might want just that one clip even. But I basically go through this and I, pick which ones I want, and then I download them and I insert them. And again, it's just different points in time. We could do one more together. This looks like a pretty repetitive beat, just viewing the EQ here. There's some differentiation, but mostly it seems pretty similar. Here's another good example of where the tonality is going to change drastically about 20 seconds in. And then the drums kick, boom, there we go. Then I might dip back down. We got a fade, reset back to the intro. Then it's going to pop back into the drum kick. So I might only want partial, and that's why I'd use that part. Basically, it's a very back and forth thing. Next question is not even a question, it's really just a statement, which just says show nudes. They're out there. You could find them. You just have to be, persistent. Next question is, how did you do the full-time job to content career transition? So it's just about being smart. And a lot of it is opportunity and alignment of, it's like setting yourself up for success. Well, that was a big burp. If you want to transition to any job or any sort of hobby into a job or just change jobs full-time, you have to first identify what your spending is. How little can I make to survive in a 1-month period? How much do I have to have extra on top of that if something were to go wrong and I'm not fucked? Let me say, I have to save up enough money to cover basically assuming I'm making no money for 6 months straight. At the 6-month period, if I'm not making at least half of what I need, meaning I could trickle off and start to make enough and project, breaking to whatever my point is, 2K, by month 9, by month 10, then I bail out. I have to draw a line in the sand and make that commitment. Basically, it just comes down to, am I willing to make a third of the money I was previously to be streaming full-time and have that lifestyle change, a lot more freedom in my schedule and freedom of my time, and that's the choice I wanted to make. But you don't have to make that, and that might not be for you. But yeah, just be smart. What happened to the one-shot series? The one-shot series is a series in which I play games that you all suggest and provide in a small review-based format with myself or some other people sometimes, and then it's still out. Here's a clip of the one that's supposed to be coming out tomorrow, actually. We recorded it last night.
You just get up in her butthole and pound her.
Joe Biden, show me your butthole. All right, next question. Imagine standing on a ledge 6 feet above the ground and jumping off belly flop style. Just belly flopping right into the fucking ground. Do you think you could kill a baby by landing on it, or a small animal? I mean, yeah. I mean, if I tried. Is it accidentally? Yes. Could a baby survive if I belly flopped 6 feet off the ground onto it? It depends on where I hit my body. You know, if it's just straight tum to baby, they might be okay. But if I, like, knee slam a baby in the fucking head 6 feet up, yeah, that thing is going to become a pancake. Favorite meme? That's a tough one. You know, just like asking your favorite song or food, it's kind of a fluid thing. One of my favorite memes at the moment is probably this.
Who is Harold?
He was a role model of mine growing up.
Please let Harold be human.
Harold was a pig.
Favorite Miyazaki film? Yeah, I mean, I think it might just have to be Spirited Away, you know? It's, they're all really good. I like moving, Totoro, I like Castle, I like all of them, honestly. That was the doggo. Baby girl is okay. She, ate something she shouldn't have, and she basically poisoned herself. And we're on as of this is coming out, this is day 4 of her at-home recovery. She's eating solid foods again, she's not vomiting, and she's drinking water sometimes, and she basically just sleeps and eats because she's just recovering, but she will be a-okay. Favorite music artist or genre? You know, it changes so much. If you ask me the quantity of music I listen to, it's going to be things like jazz or lo-fi because that's what we play on stream most of the time. But personally, I've always been a fan of rap in general. I mean, if we're talking like favorite artist, it's really hard to say. Kind of like the previous question about favorite meme. I mean, it does change, but there's some that I hold dear. I mean, I have such vivid memories of going to things like Rock the Bells on Governor's Island and seeing KRS-One, or seeing, you know, Snoop Dogg do the entire Doggy Style album, or Slick Rick, or Tribe Called Quest, Wu-Tang Clan. But of like newer-ish artists now, probably Coast Contra or Flatbush Zombies, Underachievers. Those are some of my favorites. I mean, I'm East Coast, so that's kind of where it comes from. Next question. Inspired by GGG's old league mechanic removal program, what league mechanic you want to get removed the most? Also, what leagues you would like to see reworked in the future? I mean, the league I want to come back is Ultimatum. I think that Ultimatum was a super, if you actually like objectively look at the mechanic, not the performance, not the patch, just the mechanic of Ultimatum, it gave you loot and you killed a bunch of things, and it was very unga bunga, no thought, run in circles and kill shit, and I like that. There's obviously horrendous things regarding the spawn rate of it and the chance rate of the uniques it had, but those could be tweaked. But I think Ultimatum as a mechanic could easily just come back as an 8%, 10% spawner and be very unoffensive. About mechanics that need to be removed? You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like, I don't like a lot of things. You could remove half the game. Path of Exile is so bloated, it's gonna eventually just kill the game, I imagine. Is your ass hair ginger? You know, it's interesting. The beard is red, the pubers are red, head hair is like dirty blonde, arm hair and like back and chest and balls, it's all kind of like brownish. Which change or decision have you made in life that you feel brought you the most happiness? You know, there's a lot of ones, you know, getting a house, getting a dog. It's hard to say. I think that the decision that made me the most happy probably was when I must have been 7 or 8 years old, and it was one of my, you know, obviously one of my first Christmases. I just moved out of Manhattan, and I remember being asked the question, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I want a Nintendo 64. And I think that decision probably set me on a trajectory in life that is what is in front of you now as a man. So I'm going to say, choosing to ask for a Nintendo 64 from Santa Claus. How about you start 3 additional accounts in Raid for more awesome series of each faction? TLDR, get fucked, Baldy. Yeah, I mean, I'm a man of much patience, and I have a variety of multiple series all running at once, and I think starting 3 new raid accounts is probably too much for me, but to say that there's not things in the works in the future would be disingenuous. So, as always, the Gale Impact series just became public, and it seems to be viewed by many and enjoyed by most. So, can we have a stash tab go through video of your old lady account? I've done them before on stream. I'm not opposed to doing them, so I might do one in the future, but I've honestly given away most of the things in my old account. Yeah, there's some alt arts and there's some mirrors, but it's a lot less impressive as you'd imagine. Most things have been valid or given away over the years. Any more OSRS coming out soon? Yep, here is a clip from the upcoming episode. Push, 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 push. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I'm assuming you're meaning African swallow, and if so, about 7 clicks west. Married? Not currently. I've been with Shelby for like 7.5 years, and at this point we'll get... married is not just a question, more of just a matter of time. It's we have a house together, a dog together, we have bank accounts, insurance. It's like... married's almost like a step backwards. We're kind of past that. But of course, we'll get married, we'll have a wedding, etc. Am I a pleb for playing Trade League? No. I mean, if you enjoy playing Path of Exile a certain way, then that's all that really matters. But is the game easier in Trade League? Absolutely. When will my conversion trap expire? I really want my mom back. Are you implying that I threw a conversion trap on your mother and I have somehow claimed her as my own? How do you record your content off stream? Clips, or do you just record the entire time you play? So if I'm recording Path of Exile off stream, I hit record, and when I'm done, I exit out of the game and I end recording. And the reason is because there's been similar situations where it's like you assume nothing's going to happen, and then I open up a barrel and then a mirror drops and shit like that. You know, I've had to delete items off stream that you people will never know about because I can't have it, so that's how I get it, and there's no proof of it. You know, there's been things I even gotten on their old Rags to Riches series where it's like I had like you know, a reliquary key drop, and it gave me like a legacy calms, things like that. And it's like, well, this is, no one's gonna ever know about this now because I have no proof and it looks like I RMT'd it. So there's just a lot of things that if I don't have evidence of it, I just delete it because it's just not fair to the viewer to not get context for how it happened. What unique should never be built around, regardless how much support GGG may give it? There's a lot of things now that's gonna be kind of hard to top. I mean, they're gonna have to. It's like they put themselves in a little bit of a pickle when it comes to unique design, because some uniques are not unique and they're just good. Like things like at Ziri's Disfavor now is not unique really in any way. Everything it does can be done on a rare, right? At the time that wasn't the case. It had things that couldn't be done on rares, but now it can. So it's just a decision to make. Is it really unique, or is it just a benchmark rare? So they could buff things all they want, but it's either going to be best in slot or it's going to be outclassed by a rare. There's really no middle ground. What's going on with Leaf Cole's anus? It's a great question. Much like, you know, what's the meaning of life and what lies at the depths of the Mariana Trench? These are things for scientists to ponder. What is Lighty? Lighty is my last name. I am Lighty. We are Lighty. Will there be any more Raid Shadow Legends content after the last pre-made episode? Another faction playthrough, void-only legendary run, etc.? So, there's 11 or 12 episodes that are scheduled to go out in the Gale Impact series. After that, you're on real time, meaning episodes will be dropping every month and a half, 2 months, and you'll just get them when they come out, and you'll have to wait like the rest of the plebeians out there. Bald Y, initially genetics, realistically by choice now. I could obviously just buy hair if I wanted. What's your favorite Ascendancy? What's the best Ascendancy and why? My favorite Ascendancy now is probably either Deadeye or Occultist. I think that the best ones are probably some of those. Yeah, I mean, I think that the best classes in the game are Ranger and Witch at the moment. And it's because they do things that are extremely high value compared to the points invested compared to other Ascendancies. You know, so things like 2 points for, we'll say, Trickster or Juggernaut gets you stun immune, a couple movement speed, maybe some free movement skill. But, you know, things like Free Chain or things like 60% more damage or things like Extra Curse plus Res and all these things, it's just the value of what they offer is so much higher objectively. So, do you play any card games? Yeah, I play Magic the Gathering. I haven't played in a while, mostly because of Corona, but I used to travel very consistently for professional tournaments. I've been to many Grand Prix, Invitationals, openings, etc. The formats I would play are Legacy and sometimes Vintage. And it's one of the few things in life I'm very elitist about. But I've sold most of my cards now, and I am selling them currently, but I still have my deck set aside, things that I'll keep forever. Have you looked at Genshin Impact? In principle, is it somewhat similar to Raid? And you are a weeb, so why not? I did look at Genshin. I did a one-shot video on it. I suggest you watch that if you haven't. Is it somewhat similar to Raid? Not at all. It's a completely different game. It is nothing like Raid in any way, shape, or form. And you are a weeb, so why not? It's because I don't like little 10-year-old girls that say they're 40. It's, you end up on a fucking list. Future plans with PoE or Diablo 4 release? I'll play both. Path of Exile 2 is just like the Duke Nukem of the age, and Diablo 4 is putting out quarterly release updates, so I tend to read those, and to me that's the one that's actually going to come out. I've seen like no real evidence that Path 2 is even remotely on the horizon, but Diablo 4, it pains me to say, is looking better and better every quarterly up. Do you have a non-Galen Pact raid account? I've had a couple, and they're all deleted now, because to me the game was way too easy if you could access every champion. Have you ever recovered from the Actum incident when I lost the Actum axe? I've recovered. I'm alive and in charge. What made you want to start streaming? People kept asking me to stream. That's it. So I mean, it's no different now. The entire reason I make videos, obviously people enjoy them, and that's great, but I make it for like archival purposes, you know? It's just so in 30 years I could look back and be like, wow, look at the 1,000 episodes of All for One. What's one thing you'd like to change about yourself or the world? Myself or the world? I mean, realistically, it's pretty simple. If I effectively just made an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month, I could then make consistent improvements on my home without having to take sponsorship content. And I think that would be nice. I don't really need a lot in life. I don't want a lot. I would like my downstairs bathroom to work. I'd like my deck outside to not be crumbling. You know, it's just basic things. What is your next quest in life and or gaming? You know, I was planning on doing an event with Slippery Jim, and I were doing some charity thing sometime in the near future. And aside from that, I'm just trying to play catch up. I've got so many things I'd like to get caught up on, whether it's one-shot series or the art requests, or, you know, finish editing. I have this mountain of footage I have for RuneScape and other things, so just playing catch-up on editing. How do you carry your 400-pound frame so effortlessly? My frame is just my skeleton alone is 400 pounds. Man, imagine. I can't really imagine being 400 pounds, and if I was, I mean, I think being 400 pounds in my height, I'd probably be able just to roll sideways. Anchovy and pineapple on pizza. I'd want neither of those two things. Who is the most sweaty nerd in your Discord? Sweaty nerd. I'm sure a lot of people now are shaking in their boots thinking I'm going to name them. I'd like to name Darkstar, just because he deserves it. He's the sweatiest nerd for these two reasons. One, he's got a cute butt, and number two is he spends 4 hours full clearing a singular room in Elden Ring, and that makes him the sweatiest nerd. He's the guy who's hitting every single wall in support beam, thinking there's a secret behind it. And if that's not sweaty, I don't really know what is. Why you didn't rickroll us at April 1st instead of the weird investigation thing? So the April Fool's video is all real. Everything that was said in the April Fool's video, minus the April Fool's meme at the end with the Skyrim intro, was 100% accurate, real information. Which to me is the best part. And the fact that we had the character played by Banj named Rick, and it wasn't Rickroll, to me is the second layer of April Fool's in itself. Because I think a lot of people expected it, and when they didn't get it, they're like, what the fuck? So, everything I said, everything that was said in that video is 100% real. The amount of money they make, the shares, how the amortization of their company, everything is 100% real. So yeah, I don't really know who the April Fool's is on, maybe us. You know the Icicle Mine build you made in Delve during Harvest, what happened to it? So Delve got changed to where you can't play ZHP builds anymore because of like Flicker Strike spiders and a bunch of other things. And the incentive to go down in Delve is basically removed from the game. So there's just no point to make ZHP builds anymore. Basically for Delve now, if you want to really push bossing, you go to about 600 to 800 depth and just go left and right. Everyone is memeing, but I just want to know, how are you doing, Dad? I'm fine, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, annoying real life things happening at the moment. We have people in Shelby's family side, or some of them are in the hospital basically dying, and then my dog gets poisoned because you ate a fucking pine cone or some shit. And you know, there are all these speed bumps in life that hit you, and it's just, what can you do but just fucking wash your balls and keep on keeping on. There's always going to be tomorrow. It's like whether I can't stream for 4 or 5 days because of real life shenanigans, that's fine. I have so much content I'm sitting on, I could just make videos and put them out if I have to, and that's what's happening right here and now. Uniques and paths get changed over time, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. What unique change did you like the most, and what did you dislike the most? Retroactively now, I would say the only thing I would say regarding that is there's so many legacy uniques that could be unlegacied and it wouldn't make a difference, I don't think. You could revert the change on even as drastic as things like Legacy Kalmsart. If Legacy Kalmsart went from 500 life even to 750 or 1,000 life, would it even be used? I really wonder. I think it would be used, but I don't think it'd be used by everybody. I mean, I don't think it'd be that insane, because the game is so lethal now that the lethality scales in a way that just having a life pool doesn't really make much of a fucking difference. Like, you have to have so many immunities to, like, things that unknown debuffs volume 1 through 7 that, you know, having an extra 2k life would be like whatever. So I think they could revert almost every legacy change. It would be fine. Pepsi or cola, and why? For me, it's Coca-Cola. Pepsi tastes like cat piss, and if you eat, you probably are a terrorist. Final question is, will you stream OSRS for the remaining time if All For One somehow gets completed in a league? If I ever were to fully catch up on All For One, I will stream whatever you guys want. If it's RuneScape, if it's fucking, you know, Honey Pop, you know, Hentai Hero Volume 7, whatever. I don't mind, you know, say that because it's a reality that'll probably seldom come true. But eventually we will catch up. Eventually. And I'll probably play RuneScape. I'll probably multi-box. Probably play RuneScape and Raid at the same time, and then play Elden Ring in the background. But yeah, that's it. I'm Matt Lighty. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Lighty out. Bye.